Hey everyone, before we start, quick honest moment. I know I've been quieter than usual. Life happened, personal stuff and some issues in my marriage. Nothing dramatic for YouTube clicks, just real life demanding attention. But I'm back, and honestly, I couldn't have picked a weirder game for this video. The name of the game? Cat Named Mojave. Your car breaks down in the middle of the desert. No warning, no tutorial, just heat, silence, and that unsettling feeling that something is already watching you. The game looks like a PlayStation 1 relic. Low poly models, crunchy textures, jagged geometry, but it works. It doesn't feel cheap, it feels intentional actually. Like the game wants you to be slightly uncomfortable from the second you start. The music doesn't help either. It's not scary in a traditional way. It's just wrong. Off-key, monious, like a memory you don't remember living but somehow still have it. You start walking, and almost immediately you're pulled off the main road onto a narrow winding path. One that feels less like exploration and more like a quiet decision you cannot undo. Then you see him. A humanoid figure dressed as a cat dragging a deer carcass across the sand. And without realizing it, you start to follow the bloody trail. The trail leads to a house. You enter, and you are immediately noticed. The creature wants to talk. He introduces himself as Mojave the Catman. Polite, calm, and unsettling. He doesn't threaten you, he doesn't rush you, he simply offers a deal. Do a few favors for him, and he'll give you a battery for your car. You already know it won't be that simple. Your first task, deliver 3 servomorphous carcasses. Deer-like creatures. You're given a shotgun, and just like that you're no longer a lost traveler. You're a contractor. And that's the moment where the game quietly reframes everything. You didn't accept a quest, you didn't start a mission, you signed an invoice. There's no dramatic music cue, no flashing warning, just a shotgun in your hands like office equipment. In this game, killing isn't framed as evil or heroic, it's framed as work. And Mojave himself? He doesn't act like a villain, he acts like management. Leaving Mojave's house, you wander from his yard to what feels like the neighbor's property. A house. A normal looking house. Inside you're greeted by the Deer family. John Doe, Jane Doe, and John Jr. They invite you in, sit you down, and talk to you like a guest. Almost. You're even offered dinner. So Jane asks you to help cut the pie she made. You take the knife, you cut the pie, she gets messy and asks you to clean her up. Yes, that happens. There's even a strange romantic exchange here. Soft voices, intimacy, comfort. For a moment the game almost lets you forget why you're here. John Doe leaves the room, and Jane sends her son to clean his room. And in that silence she tells you she loves you, that she wants to live with you. Right on cue, Jane Doe returns. Furious. He attacks you. You shoot him, and just like that the hunt begins. Jane, then John Jr. There's no dramatic music, no heroic framing, just necessity. You load their carcasses onto a cart, and you take them back to Mojave. Back at Mojave's house, the game does something quite horrifying. You don't just deliver the bodies, you dismantle them, piece by piece, and throw them into the basement. Then you go inside, and Mojave is dancing. Funky music, carefree movements, no concern for what you just did. And that's when it clicks. To Mojave, violence isn't emotional, it's procedural. He's pleased with your progress, talks more, reveals more of his mindset, his philosophy, and his detached curiosity about existence. This is where Mojave stops being creepy and starts being terrifying. Because monsters who enjoy violence are easy to understand, but Mojave doesn't enjoy it. He categorizes it. Your next task leads you to a corn maze. It's confusing, disorientating, and intentionally frustrating, even worse made by chickens. And inside you'll find a scarecrow. Every time you stop looking at it, it moves closer. You're trying to navigate a maze while maintaining eye contact with something that should not be alive. Sometimes it gets you, but instead of that, you're simply reset. Eventually, you'll find the exit, but the scarecrow will attack you anyway. First time while playing this game, I thought the scarecrow was doing something completely different to me than dragging my body. You can see why. Anyways, Mojave appears and offers you a hand, literally. Just look at him waving that thing, all happy and cheerful. He talks casually about searching for his chicken, Ernest. You don't ask questions. The game doesn't want answers. Inside the maze, you also meet Lila the rabbit, lost, scared, missing her glasses. If you help her, she escapes, and this matters. Beyond the maze lies Echo Valley Estate, an unsettling place filled with flashy statues, exposed organs, and televisions showing things you do not understand. First thing, we have to cut power to this bridge. We do this by shooting at this generator. This then lowers the bridge, and we can cross to the other side, where we are greeted by a church with organs hanging from the tower. In this part, we have to complete a puzzle or a riddle. Each of these monitors has a note attached underneath. The notes indicate what animals should be on the monitors. Once you get it right, you can enter the church. Inside are sheep. The priest Hieronymus explains that they're trapped in a cycle of suffering and they cannot end their own lives. But you can. One of the sheep swallowed the key to exit the church. So you do what the game has trained you to do. Once the deed is done, you dismantle them, you find the key, and you take the priest back to Mojave. Once you are back and dismantle the priest, his head starts to shake violently, possessed or something. Next target, Adekus, an owl. Mojave warns you not to get attached and not to trust a single word from him. Adekus welcomes me into his home. He's calm, polite, friendly, listens to my story about the car, and casually mentions he has a spare battery in the basement. For a moment, I actually believe him. Downstairs, the trap snaps shut. A big human creature attacks me and I wake up trapped underground. What follows is a long, uncomfortable escape, puzzles, darkness, and slow progress deeper into the basement. Eventually, I get out. Mojave is already waiting. He's not angry, just disappointed. He tells me I let Adekus talk nicely to me, that I listened. So I get back inside and finish the job. Adekus tells me everyone who came to him came willingly. And suddenly, Mojave doesn't feel like the only monster anymore. Because kindness, it turns out, can be camouflage. Back at Mojave's house, we dismantle what's left of the owl and the pig creature. Lila the rabbit is gone. There was never a way to save her after Mojave has brought her into the house. Mojave sits on the couch, calm as ever, talking about Bird. He describes existence as winning the lottery every day for 1,000,000 years. How probability alone makes us miracles. Strangely enough, I don't completely disagree with him. There's only one hunt left. Simomorphous. The trail leads to an abandoned building. Creepy, quiet, and clearly wrong. Things are happening in the background that don't feel natural. And whatever you do, don't trust the elevator. In the final room, there's a mask sitting out in the open. The moment I touch it, someone speaks from behind. It's a man. The first, and possibly only, actual human we meet in the game. He says he's alone now, that others were here before him, but they disappeared. When he realized they're being haunted, it was already too late. He says he followed a trail back to a house, Mojave's house, and whatever he found there wasn't human. He placed masks, like this one, all over the junkyard and the building, believing Mojave hates them. He asks for help, mentions something beneath the building, something even he doesn't understand. And while he's talking, Mojave slowly appears behind him, silently, effortlessly. He never sees it coming. Now we're given a choice, stand with Mojave or take the mask. Mojave says he feared the human had hope, and that's something he couldn't allow. We carry the human back to Mojave and drop him into the basement. For the first time inside the house, the basement door opens. The staircase stretches eerily. And then, the trophies. All of them, hung neatly on the walls. We enter the last room. Mojave is preparing another one. Calm, carefree, almost festive. He asks a question, not expecting an answer. What makes one life more valuable than another? Then, as answering an invisible jury, he continues. A life is only more valuable when it's yours. And then, the moral question. Was it worth it? Agree or disagree, Mojave doesn't care. He doesn't smile, he doesn't scold. He gives us the battery anyway, and a warning. Don't go deeper into the desert. Some things are better left unseen. We pack up the battery, the car, the road. I expected him to follow, maybe even attack. He He doesn't. He stops behind a fence, watches quietly, and lets us go. The desert swallows him back into silence. We drive off. 7 chapters, all hunts complete, the game ends. By the time the game ends, you realize something unsettling. Mojave never lies to you. He never breaks the deal. He never even changes the rules. You do. You cross lines you didn't think you would. You justify things you swore you wouldn't. All because the battery is almost within reach. And maybe Mojave isn't a predator. Maybe he's a mirror. Cat Named Mojave isn't about monsters. It's about systems, about obedience, about how easily morality collapses when survival is on the line. Mojave never forces you. He just waits for you to agree. And maybe that's the most disturbing part. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to my channel and leaving a like or a comment. This would help me make more such videos and grow my channel. Have a wonderful day.